Last night, the first trailer for Moon Knight dropped, so today we're going to stop and rank all 11 MCU projects in 2022 based off my excitement. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your ranking of the 2022 MCU projects based off your excitement level. My list isn't the right list, it's just my list, and I would love to see yours. As we go into this, most of these projects don't have release dates yet. Some of them will shuffle around. Some of them are only even kind of announced. So this isn't the definitive list of what will come out this year, but it's what looks like is coming out this year. With that said, let's get started. In last place, I Am Groot, a series of shorts for Disney Plus about Groot. And while usually these short projects for Disney Plus are usually pretty amusing, they did one for Olaf a couple months back that's really funny. My kids like to rewatch them all the time right after dinner before bedtime, but they're designed basically as just a quick little simple joke. There's not much more about them. There's not like any sort of character arc or anything like that. They're just supposed to put a grin on your face for about 2 minutes, so they don't interest me all that much, even when starring a cute baby Groot. Kicking up number 10, Disney Halloween Special, most likely based off Werewolf by Night. Now, this is one that it's been reported on by like Variety with some casting information with some familiar faces. There's been murmurs, but there hasn't been like a big gigantic official announcement, so I'm not sure if this one's actually going to take place at least this year. I'm not familiar with the Werewolf by Night storyline, so this is one that exists. I'm curious about it. With more information, I could get excited, but with the limited announcements that have been made about it, the limited casting that we know, and that I'm not familiar with the source material, I can't put it particularly high on the list. Number 9, Miss Marvel. Now, this is one where I have all kinds of mixed feelings of things that look kind of interesting about it to me and things that really don't look good at all. The head writer is, let me check this out once again, Bashar K. Ali, who was the writer of the worst episode of Loki, so that has me a little bit nervous when I'm not confident in this particular writer's abilities. And at the same time, a couple of episodes were directed by the guys that did Bad Boys for Life, and I really enjoyed Bad Boys for Life. Now, Miss Marvel is a character that in the Avengers game that came out a couple years back, I thought was kind of a fun addition and might be kind of a new, more naive superhero to throw into the world of the MCU. But then we kind of got our first looks at it in the teaser that they put out. Is like 15 seconds of footage last month in December or November, and it wasn't great. It didn't sell me on the show. It made it look very much like a Disney Channel superhero series rather than a nice addition to the MCU. So I don't know what to make about that. Likewise, the character is going to be one of the stars of the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2, which on the one hand, I appreciate that they're taking the show seriously enough that it's using as a platform to launch one of the characters into a movie. And then on the flip side to it, it's Captain Marvel, not really my favorite MCU film, so a lot of mixed feelings, so pretty low on the list. Number 8, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Now, this is one that with a trailer, with a more detailed plot synopsis, it could move significantly up the list. But as is, I just see a lot of red flags surrounding this project, primarily because they're having to write around the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman, the star of the franchise, Black Panther himself, and without knowing more information about how they're doing that, what the plot is going to be, I'm just really nervous about the film. Add to that, there's been a lot of trouble surrounding the production. They took 5 months off because of an injury. A lot of murmurs and stuff about the lead actress's behavior. I don't know what's true. I don't know what isn't true. But until we have a trailer, until we have something concrete that helps sell me on what they came up with to continue this franchise in light of the constraints placed upon them, I'm very nervous about this one. I want to be wrong, I want to be won over, and I can be won over, but at the moment, I just see the red flags. Number 7, She-Hulk. Now, this is one that when they first announced it, I wasn't terribly excited about it, and then as they started kind of announcing some of the information about it with Mark Ruffalo appearing in it, that it's a little bit more of like a courtroom legal drama, kind of tickled my brain just a little bit. Then they put the 10-15 second teaser out back in November, and there's just enough in there that was interesting to me. That it was reminiscent, or very reminiscent, of the old Incredible Hulk TV show that I grew up watching.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
And then adding to that with Matt Murdock showing up in Spider-Man, another show about a lawyer. The potential that Matt Murdock might make an appearance in this has me very fascinated they could be heading in that direction. That trailer they gave us does not match Daredevil at all, but it doesn't seem like Kevin Feige's particularly worried about that. So while this is one that I was pretty skeptical about when they first announced it, I'm kind of warming up to it a good bit. Next up, What If Season 2. Now this is another one where it's not guaranteed to come out this year, but the speculation is that it will release in the back half of this year, thus it's included in this list. Now I was actually a big fan of What If. I both enjoyed the novelty of each of the scenarios that they gave us, as well as I appreciated that they gave it its own kind of little meta arc, building to its own Avengers event with the last couple of episodes. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm very excited for season 2, but it's not as high on this list for a couple of reasons. First off, the inherent nature of the show kind of being a bit gimmicky with what it does holds me back just a little bit from kind of having that top level excitement for it. Second one, because it's a season 2, we've already gotten some of this before, so that also kind of dampens a little bit of my excitement for it in another sense. But once again, I thoroughly enjoyed the first season. I'm sure I will thoroughly enjoy the second season as well. And they've said that season 2 will incorporate phase 4 in a little bit more. I'm very curious how that's going to work out. And with the fact that we've seen Strange Supreme showing up in that first teaser that we got for Doctor Strange 2, I'm curious how they're going to start really intertwining all of this together. So maybe I actually should move What If Season 2 higher up on the list. In 5th place, Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, Taika Waititi took the Thor franchise and gave it a shot directly straight into the heart of Red Bull, cocaine, and rainbows, and just brought this franchise to life. I mean, everything is so vibrant, every character so memorable and colorful, and it was just so much fun. And with where Endgame ended, with Thor heading off with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the fact that I loved the interactions between Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy in Infinity War and Endgame, I can't wait to see what Taika Waititi has planned for this strange ensemble moving forward, all those nice little interactions. Add to that, Christian Bale has decided to join the MCU, and this was the project that he wanted to join. This is a guy that spent the last 10 years since Dark Knight Rises, that came out 10 years ago, going after more kind of prestige, dramatic roles. 10 years later, decides to return to the comic book genre with this film. What drew him to him? I don't know, but I'm curious to find out exactly what that is. Now, the thing holding this one back, not really crazy about Jane Foster picking up the hammer and becoming Thor. I know there's comic book roots there. It's just not the sort of storyline that interests me in particular. When everyone on the team turns into a superhero, that's not usually my thing, and I've been criticizing all sorts of Arrowverse shows for similar sorts of issues in the past, and so that has me a little bit concerned about how far they're going down that path. But Taika Waititi, I do trust. Love that Christian Bale's coming in, and can't wait to see more of the Asgardians of the Galaxy. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Now this is a James Gunn written and directed Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special that he will be shooting during the production of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that he has said will introduce a major character for the MCU that will also tie directly into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. All of that has me so fascinated of what exactly is this thing. It's obviously inspired by the Star Wars Holiday Special, which was a variety show and infamously awful. And so with James Gunn and his sixth sense of humor, taking that as inspiration with the Guardians of the Galaxy's characters, I'm fascinated. I just want to know what this is. And then adding to that, just a few days back, Peacemaker came out. It's really good. And it's one of those things that just reminds you how funny James Gunn really is. How wacky and weird he is. With the dance intro sequence to Peacemaker is like the most unexpected thing that I never knew that I wanted, that I instantly fell in love with. So when you give James Gunn space, Guardians of the Galaxy, holiday special, go crazy with it, what is that going to be? I don't know. I don't know what this thing's going to be, but I absolutely want to check it out. Real quick before I give you my top 3, remember to join me down below in the comment section. Share your ranking of the upcoming 2022 MCU projects based off your excitement level. My list isn't the right list because we're all excited about different things, resonate with different characters. This is just my list and I would love to see yours. Also, I've done a bunch of other MCU content in the past. I've ranked the movies, the characters, individual reviews, all that fun stuff. You can check it all out in these 2 playlists right up here. In third place, Secret Invasion. Now, this is another one of these classic comic book runs. There was a massive crossover, just like Civil War, and they're bringing it to a Disney Plus series where you got Samuel L. Jackson in the lead, you got Ben Mendelsohn returning as Talos, and then Emilia Clarke coming in as someone new. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but it seems like something just a little bit different. A large-scale story for one of these TV shows, probably very conspiracy theory, paranoia-based. All of that has me absolutely fascinated. So everything I do know about this one, can't wait to check it out and can't wait to learn more about it. Our runner-up, Moon Knight, the character that got his first full-length trailer just yesterday, and his show will be debuting on March 30th. Now, this is a character I didn't know much about until they announced the show, and I started doing some research, asking some friends, and everything everybody said about him sounded like a character that would be right up my alley. Then they announced Oscar Isaac was going to be in that lead role, and I thought, oh man, if this is what he's excited about, that's a really good sign. He is on top of the world right now, where he has the A-list mainstream success from being in Star Wars, but he also has credibility with all these top-tier directors, and Denis Villeneuve is casting him in Dune. This is a guy that can do whatever he wants. He can take any role that he wants, mainstream, indie, prestige, and he decided that he wanted to play Moon Knight. He decided that he wanted to do this Disney Plus series. This is what he found interesting at this point in time in his career. Therefore, it's very interesting to me at this point in his career. And can't wait to check this one out. Then we got the trailer, and it was exactly what I hoped it would be. Which is to say, it's much more mature. It's serious. It doesn't come off kiddie. There's a little bit of light moments, and there's a little bit of humor in there. But it's a character struggling with mental illness that doesn't know exactly what's going on. There's weird stuff where he's like chaining himself to his bed to stop him from doing things, and it only teases the actual Moon Knight suit at the very end of it. All of that has me so interested. Can't wait to see Ethan Hawke showing up in the MCU. This is one, since they announced it, I've been very excited to get a first glimpse. We got our first glimpse, and it was exactly what I wanted. All right, real quick before I give you my number 1. Hello, young man. Of the 11 movies, shows, and specials on this list, which one are you most excited for?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion because it involves
Aliens.
aliens invading the Earth. That's your sort of thing?
Yeah.
So you can't wait to check that one out.
Yeah, I have a poster in my room sort of about that.
What does it say?
I want to believe.
From the X-Files?
Yeah.
Maybe, wait, what's going on here? Maybe this show will be like the X-Files in the MCU.
Yeah.
But coming in first place is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is a movie I've been very excited about ever since Infinity War, which made me just so excited for more of Doctor Strange. And then the last year has only made me even more excited for more Doctor Strange, with What If giving us this awesome different version of Doctor Strange in 2 of the best episodes of What If, and that guy's gonna show up in the movie. Add to that, we got some Doctor Strange in Spider-Man No Way Home. Once again, just wanting me to get more of pure Doctor Strange in the lead. Then, from there, Spider-Man No Way Home kind of tickled our brains for more multiverse, and this movie has multiverse in the title. All sorts of rumors of crazy cameos, weird, wild, crazy stuff happening. Third, The title is an allusion to a H.P. Lovecraft writing, in which case, just in the little teaser trailer we got, we saw some Lovecraftian weird freaky creatures popping out. We saw some of those weird freaky creatures in What If. Seeing that on the big screen going completely wild crazy, I'm all for it. Fifth, we got Wanda joining Doctor Strange, our sorcerers, our wizards, teaming up against evil versions of themselves, or however that's gonna work. Seems like a lot of fun. And then finally, Sam Raimi himself, 15 years later, returning to the comic book movie genre, returning to direct a new Marvel movie. Can't wait to check it out. This is one of the guys that created the modern era of comic book movies, and he's returning to join the actual MCU, directing a weird, wild, crazy film. Put it all together. There's so much in this movie that I just cannot wait to check out. It looks like it's gonna be absolutely amazing. So it comes in at number 1. If you enjoyed this video, remember I've got a whole more just like it. You can check it out in those playlists right over there. Also, if you just wanna see my most anticipated films of the year in general, it's right down there in that video. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.